Yep, halftime of second week in a row here, Georgia against just an inferior team. No sense in bragging or trying to do any trash talking here against Arkansas State. Shout out to the fans wearing the pink today, of course. Hashtag wear pink for Wendy. Good cause there. Arkansas State's head coach. Of course, his wife passed away from breast cancer not that long ago. And Georgia fans showing some support for him there today. Here he is here. They're interviewing him here at halftime. Anyway, you guys all know that story. So good to see a lot of the crowd wearing pink. Y'all know me. I like to try to... the glass is always half empty to me. I strive for perfection. Kirby Smart is that way too, but it's hard to find anything really not to be happy with about this first half here. I mean, 34-0. Arkansas State could do nothing offensively. As far as when we had the ball, we did bog down in the red zone a couple of times, had to settle for field goals. So what's that? 4 touchdowns, 6 possessions, 4 touchdowns, 2 field goals. So overall, not going to complain about that. The red zone thing seems to keep popping its head up over and over, going all the way back to last season. Of course, everyone remembers the Florida game when we had like 9 plays we ran from inside the 5-yard line without scoring, and then the following week at Kentucky we had the same problem, and we've had it a couple of times this year on short yardage situations. But again, you're just looking for anything to complain about here. Fromm over 200 yards in the first half. Been a long time since we've seen him do that. Definitely not this year. The 2 games so far this year, he's thrown for, I think, 140 against Vandy and 160 last week against Murray State. He's at 202 here in the first half. We've probably seen the end of him. Now, to be completely fair, about 110 of those yards came on a screen pass to DeAndre Swift and about a 3-yard out route to Dominic Blaylock that he took up the sideline on about a 65-yard touchdown. He's been off on the deep ball, Fromm has today. We missed on a couple of touchdowns. I mentioned we had to settle for a couple of field goals. He missed on some deep balls. He's underthrown a couple, and he's overthrown a couple of deep balls. But he's been on the money on everything, 15 yards and in. Little bit off on the deep ball. But again, I'm glad to see us out throwing the ball and at least attempting to stretch the field, even if some of those throws have not landed. This is how you get better. This is what I've been wanting to see. So even though we missed on some of those deep shots, I'm glad to see us take those deep shots. I feel like that's how we're going to improve and get better. You know what you're going to get with Georgia's run game week in and week out. Swift is averaging over 10 yards a carry again here in the first half. We've probably seen the end of him too. Most of the starters are done here. Let's just be real. They'll get to watch the rest of this game from the sideline and prepare for next week's game against Notre Dame. George Pickens with another amazing catch today. Last week he had that dive-in catch down the sideline. Today it was like one of those back shoulder stop routes that they run about 15 yards downfield, and Fromm put it right on his outside shoulder. He had to kind of twist around and catch it, leaning out of bounds, kept both feet in. You'll probably see it on the highlights on SportsCenter or College Football Final or something like that later on if you didn't catch it live. But another great catch by him. So defense playing great, getting a lot of pressure on the quarterback. And again, I know it's Arkansas State, but let's be real. If you watched Georgia last year, we weren't getting this kind of pressure on the Arkansas States of the world last year. So the difference in our front in terms of getting to the QB, night and day difference from this year to last year. Just a huge improvement there. Arkansas State slings the ball around a lot. The DBs have played well. A couple of broken up passes. I mean, it looks really, really good. Nothing really to complain about. What else is going on? Kansas State is up 17-14 over Mississippi State here almost at halftime, so that's going to be a good game. I think everybody pretty much knew that. Ohio State's rolling. Justin Fields another 3 or 4 touchdowns in the first half. Heisman contender there. I mean, it's time to just call it for what it is. The guy's just off to an unbelievable start. He's going to have, 13 or 14 or 12 or 13 touchdowns, whatever it is, after today probably. Who else is playing? I can't even remember now. What other game was I watching? I really can't. Oh, Maryland and Temple. Pretty good game there. I think Maryland will pull away and win that one, though. Anyway, that's your halftime report. Dogs on top, 34-0. If you're friends with any walk-ons or 4th or 5th string players at the University of Georgia, make sure to watch the second half. They'll be featured ad nauseum. Starters done for today. See you after the game.